TCARP. All right, going to be doing a live here in a little bit. I'm going to wait for a few people to get in here. Wait for things. I don't do a ton of lives, so we're going to kind of get started here. Like I said, here just a little bit. Get everything going. Try to at least. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Let's see how I can do this and not run into people. Alright, hold on one second. There we go. Of course. Oh, just kind of getting set up things and all that stuff. Give me just a second, guys. Just a second. Alright, actually, that's actually halfway decent. So, we might have some people join, we might not. But I'm just going to kind of hang out and ramble and whatnot. Man, the state of the economy in 2025. Whew. It's different. So if you look at kind of where things are at, especially where I'm at. I'm in East Tennessee. I have a pretty decent job. I have decent wages, whatnot, and housing. I'm pretty good. My age, I am 35, 36 years old, and I've got things, like I said, going on pretty good for me. The lower generation, the generation below me, and I'm a millennial, but this generation below me, man, they can't afford houses. They can't afford anything. So, like a good example is, there's a manufacturing facility called Denso, and they make car parts, but whatnot. But they basically they start people out at 18, 19, 20 bucks an hour, and average around 22 to 25 bucks an hour. So let's say you have that person that's working that. They can't afford a median house in the town that they work in. So like a median house like $400,000, if you're making 20, 25, like you can't afford that house. And when I mean you cannot afford it, let's pretend you paid or you had 20% down, so you don't have PMI. You're still paying $2,000 a month for a mortgage for a $400,000 house. That's half of your take-home pay. People can't do that. And this generation below me is just feeling so much despair. And what's happening is these folks are starting to turn, or they're being told that it's capitalism's fault. And it's not capitalism's fault, by the way. What's happened is it's COVID's fault. COVID pushed so many Californians out into these, into these suburban areas, these areas of the country, the South, that had lower cost of living and whatnot. And the wages here haven't recovered. They just haven't. And the home prices haven't come down. Now, I'm good friends, I just sold my house and whatnot. And I just sold my house, by the way, in the nick of time. I talked to my realtor, and he's saying houses are not moving. They're not moving at all. That's a big deal, guys. At one of the first times in about 5 to 6 years where there's actually more houses than there are buyers. And hopefully the housing prices will come down. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out if that happens. Now, if you bought, here's the problem with that. If you bought and you have a 6-7% interest rate and you bought at the peak of this, that means you could be underwater. And that started the whole 2008, was one of the things that started the whole 2008 tumble. Now, am I predicting a 2008 tumble? No. But what I am predicting is a major crisis when it comes to families. I'm predicting a major crisis when it comes to replacement, things like jobs and population. Because what they're arguing with the big beautiful bill and all this stuff is, we got to have Medicare, Medicaid, and we got to have people pay for all this. Well, here's the deal with that, man. Like, you don't have enough people being born to take care of your obligations, the Medicare, Medicaid obligations now. Okay? Like, they just can't be done. So you have this big baby boomer generation, then you have Gen X and millennials. Well, we're all trying to prop up the baby boomers, but there's not enough of us to do it. So what you have to do is you have to get more people. Well, if you make it harder to have a family, to go out and live on your own, to have children, it's so expensive to do all these things, and people just are opting out and they're just not doing it. So, and it's not because of morals and whatnot. It's because they just can't afford it. They just cannot afford it. So, my concern, I guess that's where I'm kind of trying to diagnose what's going on and with it. Now, my prescription for this is we have got to figure out a way to build more houses, make it, but these interest rates have to come down, and jobs have to be paying more. Like I said, an average income in a town, you should be able to purchase an average home in a town. And when I mean purchase it, your monthly take-home pay should not be more than 25%. We've got to figure out a way to get to that point. Or we as a country are just screwed. Another thing economically that no one's talking about is these student loans. Like, so many people are about to default on their student loans and they're going to be wage garnished. Like, no one's talking about that. Like, guys, people can't just bankrupt student loans. Those things are going to be around forever until you either pay them off or you die. That's a big deal. And if wage garnishments are going to happen and people are living paycheck to paycheck as it is, they're living off of credit cards and whatnot, and then you throw that on top of this generation that's below me, guys, they are ripe for socialist revolution. And like I said, I don't blame them. Do I think the capitalism is to blame? No. But you can't prove that to them. You've just crushed them with all this stuff. I'm telling you guys, just be ready in the coming years. After Trump, I'm telling you guys, be prepared for a socialist revolution. You saw it in New York City. You're seeing it now. But guys, I got to head into work. Love y'all. Y'all be good. This is TCARP signing out. Thanks for hanging out with me.